Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I just kind of want to rant and rave about the new Colourpop and Animal Crossing collection. I do not have it, I do not plan on buying it, but as a lover of makeup and Animal Crossing, I have many thoughts and feelings. Now, Colourpop is a brand that I'm currently taking a break from because they have a lot of issues with inclusivity and really, aside from like their tinted moisturizer foundation, really not making a lot of products for deeper skin tones. So while they have a lot of stuff that works really well for me, they don't have a lot of stuff that works really well for people with deeper skin tones than me, and I find that really problematic. I noticed that they did release like a deeper tone neutral collection recently that seems to be a bit better, a bit more in the right direction, but it's going to take a lot more than one collection in my opinion to really get to where they're supposed to be. I am going to link a video from Amanda BB in the description box just because I think that she provides a very good perspective on that, goes into a lot more depth than I do / I can, because I am also obviously a person of a lot, I'm pretty pale, so I can't really speak too much on like the active experiences of people with deeper skin tones and Colourpop, because that is not something that affects me personally, but I feel like even if something doesn't affect you personally, you should still care about it if it's something that affects other people. That's kind of one of the reasons that I am taking a break from Colourpop, but I wanted to like go a little bit more in depth about their Animal Crossing collection, because I am a huge Animal Crossing fan. Where is she? I had this little Mabel amiibo that she just like kind of chills on my desk with my Captain America and Loki and Rapunzel over there. I have been an Animal Crossing fan for a long time, as you've probably heard me talk about in videos before. I started in Wild World and kind of worked my way up, at least with the Nintendo consoles that I had, because I wasn't like one to buy a new console for every game. I'm not like that hardcore of a gamer, but I do have it on the Switch. I have New Horizons. I play the mobile app, so I'm a lover of Animal Crossing, and I was really excited at the idea of Animal Crossing doing a makeup collaboration with a brand. I have mixed feelings about the execution, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. I don't know if that's going to be of interest to anyone, and I'm also not shaming anyone who likes a collection, who bought the collection, who did anything like that. This is partly me like convincing myself that I don't need it and putting it on the internet so that way I can actually hold myself accountable, because there is this, you know, the magpie brain inside me, the makeup goblin, that is kind of like, oh, well, you know, maybe I might use this thing, so I should buy it. And like, you know, if you are going to use something, it's fine. You know, if it's something that you'll use, even if it's something that you won't use, I'm not going to shame anyone for spending their money. I feel like the things that I would use in this collection kind of overlap with what I already have, and I feel like I could just kind of get the same effect by sticking some Animal Crossing stickers on my current makeup, which I'm also not going to do necessarily unless I like get some empty palettes and put some singles in there to create my own Animal Crossing palette. You know, that wouldn't actually be a bad idea. I'm also just trying not to spend too much money right now. Let me actually talk about the collection, what I feel like I would want from it, what I feel like they fucked up on, what I'm just kind of meh about, I guess. Okay, let's get into it. So first they have these 4 eyeshadow quads, which are $12 a piece, which like, I get that it's like a licensed collaboration, but that's a lot for like a Colourpop quad. If it was more of like a higher end brand, I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But that means it's $48 for 4 quads, and that would be 16 shades. And I have some 16 shade Colourpop palettes that are like less than $20. So the one I would want the most is the La Belle of the Ball ones with the Able sisters, because it's purple for one, and you all know that I am a huge purple shadow lover, and the Able sisters are like my favorite characters in that. In looking at the character design of the Able sisters, I really do not understand why they made the palette purple. I'm not quite mad about it because I love me a good purple eyeshadow, but looking at like their coloring, there really isn't that much purple in there. There's like, you know, Mabel, who's like this navy blue black. They have their cute little aprons and like the green and the pink. I objectively like the Able Sisters and purple eyeshadow, but it doesn't quite make the most sense together. I don't know. I feel like the one that's the most cohesive is the Isabel one, the 5-Star Island one, that's like the pinks with the yellow shimmer in it, because I feel like that does actually match her character design very well. So I'm not gonna like shit on that or anything. Same with the Nook Ink one. I feel like that's cute because it's like the all green one, and that, you know, matches like the little shirts, the little Hawaiian shirts, little island shirts that all of the Nooks have. And that one is actually pretty cute. Once again, not gonna need that because I have a lot of green eyeshadow already, and that one definitely looks like it leans more on the pastel side, which if you know anything about me and my videos, I'm not a huge pastel fan on myself. Kind of trying to lean into it a little bit more just so I can try some new techniques on myself, but that is not a fave personally for me. Like I said, especially with the purple one, going back to that, I definitely already have all of those shades, and each of them has a pressed glitter in one and one of their sequin shadows, which I really don't understand why they keep putting both of those in the palettes. Like, I can kind of understand a pressed glitter. I can get behind a pressed glitter when it's in like a bigger palette because I can like either ignore it or like use it on a very rare occasion. However, I'm really trying to not give myself eye injuries in 2021, so yeah, I should probably stick to not doing that, stick to continuing to not do that. And I just don't understand the sequin shades like at all, the micro glitter inside a matte. I remember Urban Decay used to do that back in the day, and they got a lot of shit for it. And I feel like Colourpop does get a lot of shit for it, but they don't listen. So, like, why do you continue putting that in there? I know that it effectively, like, the glitter doesn't really show up when you use it, and apparently it's supposed to make it, like, blend better or something. I don't know. I don't like it. And I kind of hate that like both of those are included in each of the quads. If it's a palette, you know, and it's like one shade, you can ignore it. But if it's a quad that's like 2 out of 4 of the shades, that's kind of like, they could have done better. Like, you just use a normal matte, it's fine. And also, like, Colourpop does have some pretty decent mattes in my experience with their shadows. So like, I don't understand why they need to put a micro glitter in them to make them blendable. Like, just make better matte shadows. I've had matte shadows in just about every color that blend well. You just have to do a good job formulating it instead of putting micro glitter in it. That's just my opinion. Now let's talk about the palette that makes me the angriest. Let me see if I can find a better picture of it. That is the What a Hoot palette with the owls. I have such a problem with this because after the Able Sisters, they're my favorite. Blathers and Celeste. I love them so very much. Blathers is the absolute best, and that one is just a quad of browns, and I'm really sad about that because I feel like, you know, it kind of matches Blathers, although I wish they would have had like a yellow for his beak or like a bright green for the bow tie. I feel like that doesn't do Celeste justice at all because she has like this beautiful burgundy pink sort of look, and it's very cute. It doesn't have to be like unneutral, but I feel like it needs to be a little bit more vibrant. And it also kind of annoys me because I feel like Colourpop already has a palette. I don't know if this is still around because they discontinue shit like every single day, but they already have a palette that I feel like is a very good Celeste color scheme, and that's her X's and O's palette. Like, looking at like the burgundies and the pinks and that's very Celeste. I feel like that matches her, and so that doesn't need to take away from like being a cute little like neutral color scheme. Like, this is still, I might have a different range of like what I consider neutral in a palette in eyeshadow because I am Rainbow McRainbow Pants over here. I know that the gray smoky eye doesn't necessarily convey that today, but y'all know what I mean. I feel like the burgundies and the pinks in this like really do kind of match that, so why not have like 2 of those and then like 2 browns for Blathers? Their palette design could be so much better. But yeah, those are kind of how I'm feeling about the quads, because I feel like $12 for a quad with like at least 2 shades in there, which formulation that I don't like, is already just so much, because that means it's like $12 for 2 shades. And while I might do that for like an indie single brand for Colourpop, I get that it's a licensed collaboration, but I really do not feel like it's worth that to me. I know that makeup can be merch, and while there's definitely makeup as merch that I do like the Melton Beetlejuice collection, or like I might try and go for that Hip Dot in My Chemical Romance palette if it ever comes back in stock, you know? I don't know. I don't feel like this is makeup merch for like me. So they also have a glitter, is it a glitter gel, I think? That's just like a gold that's for like the bells, which it makes sense, you know? It doesn't like not make sense. I just don't, I would never use a gold glitter. That is not at all my makeup style, and I've been trying to move away from glitters, especially ones that I don't know if they're biodegradable or not. And that's another reason for me not using pressed glitters, you know. They also have a Super Shock shadow that is like kind of themed after like the balloons that you can shoot down, which is a cute idea, but it really like doesn't, it just doesn't reflect it to me. Like it would be maybe a cute highlighter, a cute, again, kind of like a nice shimmer, but I really don't feel like it does that much or adds that much to the collection. I don't know, maybe it's my own colorful bias coming in, but when you already have like a neutral palette, a neutral quad, why do you need to put more neutrals in like the singles that come in it? Like it would be so much cuter if it was like a red shimmer, like a bright red shimmer, like after the balloon. And I know there's like 4 different colors of the balloons, but like the red's the most common. Actually, I was watching Betty Jean's, Butte Beans Animal Crossing Colourpop collection video, and she said that she would want the balloon Super Shocks as like a quad of like the 4 balloon shades, and that would be super cute. That would have been so much cuter than that. But I also just don't care for the Super Shock formula. I found them really difficult to work with, and they crease on me, at least as like all my lids really badly, even when I use a primer, because I do have lids that are on the oilier side, so I really don't use those anyway. I have a couple of Super Shock cheeks, which I'm really impressed that I was able to say like on the first try, but I feel like those like work a little bit better, but that's because I like a creamier product on my cheeks anyway. But as an eyeshadow, I don't like it. So speaking of cheek products, let's talk about those blushes. No. I feel like that's what I'm most upset about, because I feel like eyeshadow you can sometimes get to work on like a wide variety of people, especially since each of those does seem to have a decent dark matte. I feel like they could definitely go a bit deeper, but you know. But those blushes, I feel like Colourpop does the exact same 2 blushes in every collection. One is this pink and the other is this coral. I feel like the coral one is cuter, but it still would probably only work on me at the deepest. And the other one, I just hate that tone of blush. I feel like that's really flattering on other people, but I hate it so much on myself. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not adventurous with my blush anyway, but I really don't like pink blush on myself. Sometimes I'll go for a berry if, you know, I'm feeling ooh, wild. But yeah, I don't know. And I feel like they do that with every collection. Have like one corally peachy blush and one like really cool tone pink blush, and I feel like they could do so much more with their collections, because I feel like Colourpop is capable of doing it. I feel like they could definitely make like deeper blushes, more interesting colors, maybe come out with a yellow blush or something. That would be cute, but they don't. I'm just kind of sad about the blushes. Like they could have done so much more. Animal Crossing is such a colorful franchise, so sticking to like some muted shades that only work probably on my skin tone or lighter is very disappointing, especially since I feel like Animal Crossing is something that so many people love. You're alienating a part of the fan base, you know, by not making products that work for them. Yeah, and so lastly, they have their Just a Tint lip duos, which are based off of the different fruits that you can get on the island. And I actually think that that's a cute idea. My biggest problem is that they're only sold in duos. So like if you wanted to get, you know, like one shade or like 2 different shades, but they're not in the same duo, you have to buy a duo. And I feel like that's not very economical. Now, since they are like tints, they are gonna be like a little less opaque, so they would blend in with like your natural lip color. So like that's cute, that's fine. I haven't actually tried that formula simply because I'm still stuck in like 2015 liquid lipstick hell. I'm not saying that it's hell for me. I'm saying that other people think that I'm stuck in hell because I'm the last person on this earth wearing liquid lipsticks. Yeah, like those are cute. Those are a cute idea. I don't have any major complaints about the lip duos other than that they're only sold as duos. I feel like they're probably fine and they would probably work for a lot of other people since they do kind of blend with your natural lip color like as a formula. So I feel like that probably is like the least problematic part of the collection. The other stuff that I do complain about is just simply like I don't understand how they came out of it that way, or just simply like that like it feels really repetitive for Colourpop. Those are my complaints, and that was also me talking out loud to talk myself out of buying the collection, because I simply don't need it, and there are a lot of things that I could spend, you know, like 12 bucks on right now that would probably benefit me a lot more than porcupine themed eyeshadow quad, which actually when I frame it as porcupine themed eyeshadow quad, I kind of want that a little bit more. As an eyeshadow quad with 2 shades that are not formulas that I like or would use, coming from an overpriced collaboration with a brand that I don't support because of its lack of inclusivity. There, if I word it like that, come here. If you word it like that, then you're not gonna want it as much anymore. So that's it. I hope that this video is like fun for you, or for me, or for someone out there. Once again, I'm not shitting on anyone who likes this collection, who wants it, who's gonna buy it. This is me talking myself out of buying stuff that I don't need and talking myself away from a brand that I don't want to give my money to right now until they fix some of their problems. So let me know down below your thoughts on the collection, if you're gonna be buying it, if you're not gonna be buying it, what you think they could improve, all of that sort of stuff. Let me know if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye!